Hey everybody, Jared Bendis here. I'm Associate Professor and Chair of Game Design at the Cleveland Institute of Art, and today I want to talk to you about Pirate and Traveler, one of my favorite, very misunderstood board games. Now, I want to talk a little bit about sort of the evolution of the game, not necessarily how it's played. We'll do another video on actually how the game is played. I picked up a copy of this game a few years ago, and the copy I picked up was from 1953, and it plays fairly well. And then I ended up picking up a copy from 1960, which also plays pretty well. What I really want to do is tell you about the game I picked up from 1911, because that's what's really cool, is this game goes back all the way to 1911. Let's take a look at the 1960 copy first. So Pirate and Traveler is this really cool map of the world, and it shows all of the sort of navigations around the world. There's Asia, there's Europe, there's North America, and of course it's got the trappings of a 1960s game. You got little plastic pieces, and of course it tells you where to go, right? It's got all these little cards in here. What's neat about it is it uses a spinner. And the spinner is actually nice. It's actually a 12-sided spinner, and there it is. And it's nice because it's not as balanced as you think. It's 2 and 30 and 10 and 20. So it's actually a really interesting manipulation of how you move around. Basically, what you do is everyone's given a card, and they try to race to that place on their card, and they go to the next place. And the first person to get 10 cards, it yells, "Pirates all!" And then you try to get to the pirate's lair in Greenland. In the meantime, you try to steal from each other, and it's a whole lot of fun. So this is what the 1960 version of the game looks like. And again, you've got plastic pieces and a cardboard spinner. But let's jump back in time a little bit to 1950s. In the 1950s, the map all of a sudden changes. It's a little less friendly. It's the same map, by the way. A little less friendly, a little bit clearer in some ways to look at. The pieces are made of wood. You've got the same sort of cards, but now you've got this really, really cool metal spinner. And I love this metal spinner. And again, it's the same exact numbers. Matter of fact, it's the same exact game. And there it is, and it's kind of fun. And you can see sort of how they made it so that you could actually fold the game up. So it's got the big black line through it versus over here. It's kind of, it makes a little bit of a difference there. Now, when I did some research on the game, I found out that the game had been patented in 1911. So I was like, ooh, I wonder if I could find a copy. And it turns out I did. And the older version of it is just gorgeous. And there it is, patented 1910, copyright 1911. It's actually the same exact board, except it's got a very, very different flavor to it. Obviously, this is Russia, not the USSR. What's neat about it is this is back when you sold the board and the accessories separately. And I actually did find the accessory box, and it actually has really nice wooden pieces. It's got cards that are a little bit different, and it's got a spinner that actually is tin and press, but it's not painted at all. And it still works the exact same way. What's neat about it is that this is a very authentic game. And what I mean by authentic game is that these are the way you would travel in 1911. This is an accurate map of the waterways, the way that you would get around the world in 1911. And what's really fun about it is that all the names are from 1911 as well. So if you're actually looking for, let's see, what are you looking for? Oslo, you're not going to find it because there wasn't an Oslo in 1911. Matter of fact, there's a lot of names on this map that don't exist anymore, or did exist and did exist and didn't exist because, again, time passes. So in 1911, this is a real fun game for people to imagine that they're trying to race all over the world to these various places. And so this is actually very contextual for them. However, in 1960, this isn't how you travel the world. So the logistics that were real in 1911 don't exist anymore. So while this would be like, ooh, I'm going to travel the world like this, no one is traveling the world like this anymore. So it just becomes a game. And it becomes a game to a throwback of a skill set that doesn't exist anymore and isn't needed. And so it's kind of a strange way. Yes, by the way, it's really fun geographically because you're still looking for places, but this one's even harder because this one, you're looking for places that don't exist anymore. So it's kind of weird. You can run around Russia like it was 1911, but no one in 1960 is taking a boat around the world like this. So it's kind of a weird thing. The game is the same, but the context is different. And this game is a lot more fun. It's actually a lot harder though, because you don't know what any of these places are. So anyway, this is again, Pirate and Traveler. I have to say though that my favorite spinner of them is this one. I think this is the best spinner, and this is the best map. This is Pirate and Traveler. Again, it's from 1910, and this one's from 1960. So look what 50 years have done. And I do believe they actually published this game all the way up to the 1970s, and someone did a real bastardized version of it in the 1980s, which I do not have a copy of, and that one I do not want a copy of at all. It's pretty cool though. The game does play very well, and it can be very, very cutthroat towards the end. And it takes, we've played it a few times, it takes about an hour and a half. I have some ideas for how to modify the game to make it a little bit more, I don't want to say modern, but a little bit more friendly. But in the meantime, I have to say, look at that map. Isn't that gorgeous? Anyway, thanks for watching. My name is Jared. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, be nice. I always ask people to be nice. And hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you next time.